when I was in Solidarity, most of the teaching was, now we are the people who have at least got knowledge. What are we going to do to help the community? You know, we are from a war zone and then things are not moving very well. Though we have this government system, it is not moving. Community here, they have a lot of learners, a lot of children in their families, but they are unable to pay them to some of these schools which are very expensive. So they told us when we go, we need to give something back to the community. So what we shall give back to the community, even if you don't benefit from it, God will reward us. So when I got this information from those sisters who are training us, then I came back and started. I said, no, let me give something to the community. With the knowledge I got in Solidarity, I need to give something to the community so that at least the community can recognize me if I will not be there. That's why I decided to say, no, this message should not just flow down. Let me pick up and do something for the community. My name is Bingo Luis Biro. I'm now 35 years old. So I was born in Nzara. I grew there, and then after Nzara I went to Central Africa, from Central Africa to Uganda, and then I came back in 2012. And then from there I came and joined Solidarity in 2013. I went to Central Africa because I wanted to become a priest. So I went to the seminary. So after stopping going to the seminary, then I went to Uganda to further my education. Then from there, when I came back, then I joined the teacher training college now. My family are in Zara. I have a father still alive and a mother. Then we are 7 alive, 4 girls and 3 boys. But among the siblings, I'm the only one who have reached a diploma level. My initial plan was to become a priest, and I needed to be in the life of people. So when I came back from the school from Uganda, I realized that I need to do something for my community. So when I got the scholarship to go to Solidarity, I had to apply to go and become a teacher. So after Solidarity, I've been teaching throughout up to now. Then I enrolled for diploma in a secondary education. So in that process, after graduating, I got one job with the GRS as a tutor. So which I did for 2 years. Now when the job ended with the GRS in 2022, I was not having anything. So my children and other children in the community had no school. The only school which were here decided to close. Then the community around came and said, since I'm a teacher and I'm teaching in very many schools, why don't I start a school for their children? First day we were only 8 learners. In my family we are 5. And then one of the madam I brought also brought 3 children, so we made 8 learners and we started. So at the end of the week, of the first week, we closed with 11. Some parents also just sent. So that time we started managing, collecting learners. At the end of the term, that term 2, because at the term 2, we closed with 41. Now the number at least increased. And then in term 3, we went up to 79. So that was how we closed last year, 2023. Now this year, 2024, is when I registered enough number. I had almost 400, but currently in this term, the third term, others have dropped. We are now 351 who are currently in this school. The community trusts me because the policy have put in teaching their children. I learned something from other country when I was trying to open a school. I found I have no resource, but what can I do to make sure at least there's teaching? So when I wanted to bring my colleagues whom I graduated together with them, others were not able to come because there was no pay. So I decided to recruit some of my students, the senior 4 leavers, and I brought them. Each was having a class. And we had a program with them. This is what we are achieving this week. So we have to teach in targets now. We don't teach like in the book. You said if we need these children to improve, we need to design a program. This is what we are teaching. If they understand, we move to another unit like that. So now when the parents found that their children were changing compared to the schools where they used to go, then they have trust in me that no, what their children are doing in this school is better. And then I decided also to bring local language, which is not in most of the schools. So my children in this school can read the Pazande, which is the local language of of this state. They can read the Pazande, they can write. So at the end now, that's why they are sending a lot of children, because other schools are not teaching Pazande. They depend on English, which they are not even teaching well. So it is hard for them to read. But in this school, most of the learners are able to read, at least basic things. And then there is a policy also I introduced. Since I had no resource, I decided to train my children how to copy from the blackboard exactly. So I wrote something called handwriting. You see, what you are seeing on the blackboard is what you are copying. And that one has helped me not to type exam. So we write for them on their blackboard, they sit, they copy, and then we take a mark. So the community is very happy with this kind of policy I'm doing. So I started with the plastic sheet. As you can see around, this is a plastic sheet. When I started, I had small resource, because after my job, when I ended, the small money they gave me, I decided to buy a plastic sheet. And then the plastic sheet did not take long. The sun was too high, and then it got torn and then finished. After the plastic sheet getting torn, I thought, what can I do which can at least sustain us for a year? I thought of a grass. So I decided to buy this spear grass. Sometimes I could go myself to go in the cut in the bush. And then when I brought the spear grass, I decided to roof myself. So all this room where we are now, it is 20 meters by 4. So the cover to at least to make it be a class or a room, I decided to, with my learners, to cut these palm leaves. So I brought them, they decided to fix it. And then the first one we did, it got off, then we removed it because it dried off. It was now breaking. So again, we have replaced it back so that it looks at least new in this town. They sit on a bench. We just decided to get some of the offcast from thick trees. Then we decided to erect a hole and put a small stand and then a nail. So that's why most of the class have it. But for nursery, we decided to buy a mat. So those ones who are very young, 3 years to 4 years, they sit on a mat. It is very important for these children to get education, because our community is really lacking behind in this state, because during war we had no proper education. Only those of us who could offer ourselves to move out of the country, we had the system. That's why I decided to put, at least I need this community to improve. And if I don't do it, no one will come and do it for us. So we need to improve so that by the end they are able to read, they are able to write, they are able to speak for themselves. This school, when I open it, the majority of the learners we have here are IDPs. They have left their community and they are living with us here. So all these children, they have a tendency, because others, what we witness here, sometimes they scream. You can get a child screaming, and then when you go to try to investigate to see what is happening, is the child sick, you find the child said no, he was seeing how somebody was killed. And that's why in this school, most of the things we do for them is, in the morning when they come, we make them sing. At least there are more than 4 songs in the assembly, so that we cool their brain. Then every time when we teach, we bring songs so that very many of them are able to sing now, at least those songs of the church. So that at least, since we don't have a trained person on these psychosocial things, at least what we can do is some ways of trauma healing. So that's what we have here.
In a place where so much has been lost, Bingo is giving back the most powerful gift of all, education. Join us in supporting heroes like him who are rewriting the future of South Sudan.